now, from the makers of Cold Water Omo.
On a fine autumn morning in early October, the main thoroughfare of St. Catherine's, Suffolk, was unusually busy. A constant stream of traffic surged forward. Errand boys on bicycles swung in and out among delivery vans, farmers in lorries, businessmen in cars. In the middle of all this confusion sat a large, shining Bentley. It was rather conspicuous, but the occupants didn't appear to worry much. Behind the wheel sat John Steed, bowler at a jaunty angle and a well-manicured hand resting on the steering wheel. Beside him, carefully dressed in a tweed two-piece suit and looking extremely efficient, sat Mrs. Peel. Steed whistled tunelessly.
What a pretty little place.
Can't see much of it from this angle. It's not so little either.
Shall we be staying long?
I hope not.
Oh, be rather nice. I think I'd like a whole weekend here. Put up at one of those country inns. Lots of healthy walks in the rain, evenings spent in front of the open fire. Bed early reading a harmless novel, that sort of thing. No chance?
No chance.
Then what exactly are we doing here?
Spy catching, Mrs. Peel. The appointment is for 12 noon. Unless we get out of this darn traffic soon, it'll be too late. Jimmy Merlin is never late. I wish he were. I only wish he was the late Jimmy Merlin.
The Avengers.
John Steed and Emma Peel, The Avengers.
Episode 1 of this story, in which John Steed and Emma Peel lay a trap, only to fall into it and not realize it until the morning after. John Steed managed eventually to find a suitable parking spot, and with the hands of the parish clock pointing to 11:45, hurried Mrs. Peel along a cobbled street and into a large red brick building. From the various plaques and brass notices outside, it was clear that it housed a number of offices belonging to small business concerns. Steed let himself into an office on the second floor, marked the Poston Trading Company. Judging from the various articles, such as crates of toys, fishing tackle, electrical appliances, and gardening equipment, the Poston Trading Co. dealt in practically everything. Steed placed a small briefcase on a garden bench and moved swiftly to the window.
What a curiously jumbled place for a rendezvous.
No one else is likely to look for us here. It's neutral ground.
It's no ground at all. Not much carpet either. What makes you think that this Jimmy Merlin will turn up? Why are you so sure?
Money. Jimmy Merlin would sell his own aged grandmother if the price were right.
Well, if she's that old, I shouldn't think he'd get many offers.
He'll come. I've baited the trap well enough.
Speaking of bait...
Mrs. Peel removed a large fishing rod with villainous-looking hooks from an easy chair and collapsed into it.
Jimmy Merlin worked for us once, didn't he?
Us, them, they, practically anyone you can name. Whoever's willing to pay his price.
A double agent?
Multi-quadruple would be more accurate. The artiste superior of the double-double-double cross. But this time we've got him. I've waited so long for this meeting, I've got him at last.
If he shows up.
He's showing up.
Steed looked from the window down into the street. Walking on the pavement on the opposite side was a tall, athletic figure, immaculately dressed in a country suit and a green felt hat and walking stick. Without a glance upwards, he crossed at the traffic lights and made his way towards the building.
Jimmy Merlin, all right.
Steed left the window and moved swiftly to the bench where he'd placed his briefcase. Opening it, he removed a revolver and hastily checked it.
Firearms? That's not like you, Steed. Most unusual.
Well, this is a very unusual case. One doesn't take chances with Merlin. Not one. He's as devious, tricky, and cunning as anyone you'll ever meet. And dangerous. Deadly dangerous.
Any particular part that I should play?
Just play it cool and watch him all the time. Don't underestimate him as a killer, and don't be taken in by his particular brand of charm. Shh. This must be him now.
Who's he expecting to meet?
One of them.
To do a deal?
That's right.
What kind of a deal?
The footsteps stopped outside the door. The silhouette of a man appeared against the opaque glass panel. There was a pause and a knock.
No, not a move.
The knock was repeated, and then the silhouette moved away.
He's going away.
From a cash transaction? Never. Shh, look out.
The door crashed open. Merlin hurtled into the room. Steed leapt forward and grabbed him round the neck. Mrs. Peel grasped Merlin's right hand and held on to what she thought was a gun.
I told you he was tricky.
You're going to be disappointed, you know.
Mrs. Peel found herself holding a pipe. She closed the door.
You don't look the smoking type. Hello, Steed. Hardly expected to see you here.
Hello, Merlin. I know what you were expecting, Merlin. See, I arranged the whole thing.
Wow. Did you now? Efficient, and I think you mentioned the word tricky. Well, it has a nice element of surprise. I particularly admire your choice of partner. Fast and quite lovely. Remarkably so. How do you do? Jimmy Merlin is the name.
How do you do? Steve didn't exaggerate about you.
Oh, please, don't believe everything you hear.
About your brand of charm, I mean.
Forewarned is forearmed, Miss...
Mrs.
Ah, what a pity. But nowadays I understand that doesn't matter all that much. Well, Steed, what now?
I refuse to believe that you're not carrying a gun, Merlin, and so...
With a swift series of movements, Steed frisked the man and found